Hello there, fellow members of the vinyl community, and welcome to very sunny Sweden. Spring is almost here, and this is another vinyl update for February, even though February was not all that good when it comes to record buying. I know, as working at a second-hand store, that the first 2.5 months of the year, January, February, and a half of March, isn't all that good for any second-hand store, because people aren't giving all that much these months. They save it for the spring cleaning in garages and cellars and so on. So hopefully it will be better the months to come. But February wasn't all that good. But nonetheless, I'm going to do a little vinyl update. Vinyl CD update, sorry. And starting off with some dance music, British style. This is Deee-Lite and the album World Click from 1990, consisting their major hit Groove is in the Heart. And I'm always happy to find when I found British house music from the early 90s, because they are all not that easy to find when it comes to full-length albums. It's easy to find compilations and collections with the British house music, but not one artist's full albums. So I was very happy to find this one. More British house music, but this is very much later and more in a funk soul style. This is Jamiroquai and his album Rock Dust Light Star. This is right now his latest album, released in 2010. However, I read that he is right now doing another album that to be released later this year. I was going to say that I have only one album left until I have complete Jamiroquai set of all of his albums. But I guess that when I find this the last album I'm missing, I guess that his new album will most likely have been released already. So, but I'm on my way to have full, complete with the Jamiroquai's all albums. Jazz music. This is a collection with Bix Beiderbecke, Bixology. Released on the low-budget label Giants of Jazz. Normally, not all that fond of Giants of Jazz. They released some good stuff. They also released a couple of collections with stuff that everyone have. But this one is, I thought it was pretty interesting. Contained a lot that was pretty new to me, and it also contains stuff from Bix Beiderbecke's early part, all the way through when he plays with both Gene Goldketten and Frankie Trambauer and so on through this, that I love very much, early big band music from the late 20s, this dance music. So this one I think is going to be very, very good actually. It's an interesting thing that I found. Terry Gibbs, vibraphone player, one of the most famous vibraphone players, with an album called Dream Band. It's a live album recorded in March 1959 in Seville, Hollywood, and contains musicians like Conte Condoli on trumpet and Mel Lewis drums and so on, Jack Swartz, Byron on sax. So this one is going to be very, very interesting, 50s big band jazz. So that was all the CDs. Let's move on to 7-inch singles. As you can see, very, very large stock. This is 80s soul music, high energy, pretty strange spelling. With a single He's a Pretender, and on the backside Don't Let Up on the Groove. I had no idea what this was actually. I bought it for one reason, and that it was released on Motown. back in 1983, and 80s soul music can never go wrong. And this one was pretty good. It's not a song that has a huge hit chart caliber, but still it's very well produced, pretty good melody. So I really, this one definitely stays in the collection. This was a single that I was very surprised by. I have a couple of albums that you've seen with Sheena Easton. I think she's a great singer, even though it's not the artist that I count as my absolute favorite. But this one was pretty good. This is a ballad from 1983 called Almost Over You. Very well produced by Greg Mattison, and on the backside, I Don't Need Your Word. So this one was very great and beautiful. Now we're going to have a lesson in pronunciation. I'm not sure that I'm going to make this test. This is British experimental dance group Art of Noise, and a single from 1989. And it says Art of Noise featuring Malatini and the Mahotella Queens. And Malatini and the Mahotella Queens are African musicians, I think. It says on the backside, the song is about Zulu warriors appreciating young Zulu dancers. So this is mixed with a lot of African rhythms and British 80s dance music. The song title is Jebo, and on the other side, Dan Dare. I thought it would be even stronger than that it was actually, but it's pretty good. So I think definitely it will stay in the collection because it is a little bit odd. And this month's set of Swedish records, 2 singles. This is Swedish schlager singer Siv-Inger and her single Någon att älska, and the backside Viola Timur, Någon att älska, on English Someone to Love, or Viola Timur on English Violets for Mother. Released in 1979 on Columbia. Very sweet 70s, early 70s, light, easy listening Schlager music. Actually I like it very lot. Very good. This one is a little more unknown, I think, to the Swedish people. The group called 1, 2, 3, and their single Love Me, and on the backside I Know You So Well. 1, 2, 3 was a band that never reached the higher chart in Sweden in the 80s. I have a couple of singles with them that are really good. They're a good musician, good producers, great 80s pop music with some funky stuff in it. So I like it very much actually. Great melody, this one Love Me. After this guy, Billy Bolero, became a very well-known producer for a lot of great Swedish artists. So that was the 7-inch. Let's move on to a couple of full-length albums. This is Womack and Womack and their album Consigns from 1988, consisting their hit single Teardrops, a song that I liked very much when I heard it the first time back when it came in 1998 on MTV. Extremely boring video, but still a great song. So it's going to be very interesting to listen to this one. The other single on this track, Celebrate the World, though, is so-so. So, but still, I'm very excited about listening to this one. And finally, Danish singer Sanne Salomonsen and her album Sanne from 1989, released on Virgin. If someone would have told me in 1989 that about 25 years or so you would own this record and show it on camera, I would most likely say you're crazy. Because back in the summer 1989, it was a huge trend with Danish artists on hit charts singing songs in Danish. I didn't like it at all. It also had Liz Sørensen and her hit single Mine øyne de skal se. This is Sanne Salomonsen had a huge hit back then with the Hvis du forstod. And I wasn't all that pleased back then. But right now I think that both Liz Sørensen's album is great and this one is going to be very interesting. I'm a huge fan of Sanne Salomonsen and her voice. So very, very, very interesting. That was it. That was the month of February. And hopefully it will be even better in March. I have a feeling it will be a whole lot better. I guess it can't go worse than in February. But until next time, I still have some contests that I will make. So until next time, I hope that you have a nice continuing of the weekend and so long.